Hello, everybody, and welcome to this very special episode of the Technically Speaking podcast.
What's going on here?
Nothing.
What? You're sick for 1 week and you think you can record without me now?
No, I was just
Were you really sick? Did you just not want to speak to me?
Cut.
Hello and welcome back to our regularly scheduled programming after the usurpation? I don't know.
It's not a word.
I don't know. Anyway, I am joined as always by Shay.
Hello, everybody.
And we've got a couple of stuff to talk about this week. Sorry for missing last week. It was due to illness on Shay's part.
Yeah, I almost died.
He's been a bit of a drama queen. He ate a bad curry.
It was awful.
Anyway, this week we have Apple news on the Apple part, which is always my favourite news, including pushing a lot of stuff back. Looks like a lot of resources are being devoted to the VR headset, which is interesting. We got our first look at the iPad mini since you last saw us. Mm-hmm. And I bought a new car, so maybe talk a wee bit about that. And what you wanted to talk about?
If we have time, we'll talk a little bit about AI stuff at the end of it, after last week's. Well, sorry, the week before, since you missed last week's. A little trade on AI.
Yeah, little taster.
Yep.
So first off, big news coming out of Apple. So they were supposed to release iOS 17. Now I know you're an Android man. You maybe don't know what iOS is, but it's the iPhone operating system.
I did know that.
You're good.
I am I'm an Android person, not an animal.
Well, you never know. It's hard to tell.
There's not much of a difference.
But that has been, apparently it's not going to be as developed, is that the correct word, as it was supposed to be originally. Supposedly the rumours were we were going to get our new redesigned camera UI, we were going to get new things to do with widgets, we were going to get new features to the always on display which is crucial because with the iPhone 15 the dynamic island is coming to all of the models. And then most importantly, the big one was going to be the complete redesign of the control center, which hasn't seen a redesign in like 10 years.
Right. Okay,
so it was going to be a big one. But supposedly it's being pushed back now because they've released a statement, I believe, saying that basically they're pushing a lot of people towards the VR headset as their big.
I wonder why. Is it because the convention is coming up that people are maybe saying they might be reviewing it? I couldn't see it personally. I don't know why they'd be rushing it last minute.
Yeah, they have a history of rushing stuff last minute. It has worked out from the past. Supposedly, have you ever heard the story of Steve Jobs and the iPod and wanting it to be smaller?
I think I have, but it's been a while.
Yeah, so it was coming up to where it was supposed to be developed, and they showed it to Steve Jobs, and he went, "It needs to be smaller," and they told him it can't possibly be smaller. So he dropped it in, I think it was a fish tank or some kind of water, and air bubbles came out, and he went, "See them air bubbles? That means there's space in there. Make it smaller." So last minute changes, nothing new from Apple, and the iPod is one of their biggest.
Yeah, one of the biggest things in the world, technology-wise.
Outdated now, but a lot of it will help develop the iPhone, which is probably their current.
Still uses the iPod.
Person in my university still uses the iPod, because he doesn't want to waste his phone battery.
It's all reliable. it's like a Sony Walkman.
Oh, they're monsters. But yeah, so, and then also a couple of features that were meant to be released with the iPhone 15 are also have been rumored to be pushed back to the 16 now. So the Ultra model, which I personally was really, really excited for, and so I use the Pro Max, which is currently their best phone, but there was going to be an Ultra, which is even more premium than the Pro. It was meant to be like...
Is it a titanium? Is it gold plated?
I don't know.
Rich.
So I was really excited with that, but it's been pushed back to the 16 now, so we'll have to wait. I'm not sure what else they could add to it, to be fair, to make it more like of a monster.
More premium. It's Apple. I'm sure they'll find a way.
It could be a folding phone. possibly.
Oh,
That could be a
that's
way.
very true. Apple haven't done a folding phone yet, have they?
No.
And that's sort of becoming a bit of a thing.
Yeah,
at the
there's
moment.
rumours it's in the works.
Oh, okay.
Google's is coming out as well, so that's their...
I mean, if everyone else is releasing them, Apple's going to release them,
Yeah, but
obviously, to try and keep up with the market.
Yeah, but they don't like change.
Yeah, that is also true.
But anyway, back to the iPhone 15, which was meant I'm sure you know, the iPhone has the best haptic motors of any phone in the market.
Uh-huh.
So to take advantage of this, they were going to get rid of the physical buttons and use just haptic feedback buttons, kind of like what happened with the I believe it was the iPhone 7 or 8. But it got rid of that physical button at the front and turned it into, it sort of felt like you were pushing it in, but really you weren't.
Okay.
It also happened to the SEs. But they so they were going to do that with the volume up and down, and basically Apple's dream is to have a portless iPhone.
Yeah.
They just want to have a sleek.
It's just a block.
Yeah.
With a screen on it.
Yeah, that's their dream.
Which is cool, which is awesome.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
I don't think it'll ever happen, but we'll get to that. So they were looking to do that, but the part of that has been pushed back now as well. So
they've stripped out every single resource they have and put it into the VR headset.
I think it's quite a big project because they've no basis to get it on. Yeah. So I don't know. The iPhone 15 might be for the first time. Normally, because how iPhone has worked the last generation was they didn't get a new chip. So the 13 Pro and the 14 have the same chip.
Yeah.
Whereas the 14 Pro does have a better chip, you know.
Yeah, I get you.
So keeping the same chip, but this might be a reason because the dynamic island's now coming to the 15. So the 15 has the feature, like a new feature, like if you want to try, you know. But what is the incentive to go from a 14 Pro to a 15 Pro?
Yeah, apart from those couple of small changes.
Probably will be a slightly better camera.
Yeah.
And a slightly better screen.
Yeah. If you've already got a 14 Pro Max like yourself,
yeah.
Is there much of a point?
What is the reason?
Why not just wait for the 16 to come out? You know, probably the year after.
Exactly. I'm not sure, but we'll see how it
Exactly,
develops.
yeah. We'll see what features it actually comes out with whenever it's released.
Also,
that might change us.
I'm very excited. Another last bit of Apple news, the iPad mini. We got our first look at it in a Tim Cook interview where the
man himself.
He was online and they were asking about it. He went, I actually have one here, and just pulled it out.
What a reveal. No big showcase of, I've just got one right here.
It's probably an early development one, but
yeah.
And looks at it looks fairly similar to the 6.
Okay, yeah.
And it'll probably pack a new chip inside, so it'll be faster, and it'll probably be more internals because the 6 itself was like revolutionary compared to the 5. You know, it got rid of what I call the forehead and the chin. You know, you know, to make it edge to edge. Well, no, I don't think it's proper edge to edge, but edge to edge pretty much. So that was a big development. So I can't see there being many massive ones like that again, but mostly more internals and getting everything.
Yeah, a bit faster, a bit more battery life.
Yeah, the thing I would be really interested to see is if, I know it will never happen, but if they got Face ID on it. Yeah. I'd love that. Because of how I want to use it, it would just...
Oh, yeah, well, that's true. You just get in the car and...
Yeah, just unlocked. And, like, I got too used to it with my iPad that, like, the face unlock, it's so handy. Have you set up the face unlock on your Google Pixel yet?
Yeah, it's been on there, yeah. That's what I use all the time.
I use it all the time. Yeah. And I always found it odd that, like, Android phones normally have the face unlock and then, like, Touch ID.
Yeah.
Do you find yourself using both often, or? Well,
it sort of depends because I wear a cap a lot. It doesn't like caps very much. That throws it off. It does. Well, that's what my Samsung, my previous Samsung, it had Face ID because I wear a cap. It would not recognize. Not once did that Face ID work in the 2 years I had that phone. Not once did it work. It was terrible. The fingerprint ID was hit and miss, to say the least.
Yeah.
The Google Pixel, it works most of the time. It does. But just whenever it doesn't, or whenever it's dark, or whatever, I can just fingerprint. But yeah, usually, because I'm going to be looking at my phone anyway, so it just automatically reads my face.
Exactly.
Even whenever I'm looking to use my thumbprint, it'll just unlock it, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's easy. It just sort of does it itself.
It's so handy. Like,
it is. It really is. I never knew, because I had the Samsung, it never bloody worked. Useless piece of crap.
It wasn't too bad. Also, if you want to know how much Shay wears hats, whenever we got the art done, it had to be sent back for Shay to get a hat at it, so that his wee character that you're seeing right now in the video, if you're watching on YouTube, had a hat.
Yes, of course. I didn't even wear a hat like 2 years ago either.
It's half of his personality.
It is. It's that and being fat. Those are my two personality traits.
I would say more food. He's good for a food recommendation.
Am I a foodie? Oh, God. I never want to be a foodie in my life. Please.
Anyway, back to the tech.
So one thing I want to talk about today is 2 weeks ago we did have a wee bit of a chat about AI.
About a chat about...
Yes, a chat.
GBD.
That's the one. You remember? I'm impressed. We had a little bit of chat about that, and Kyle Hill, a YouTuber who does a lot of science stuff.
We'll link him below.
Yeah, we will. We will indeed. He's a pretty big YouTuber at the moment, and he did a video a few days ago of time of recording about how ChatGPT and AI in general works at the moment, and I thought it was really interesting. Yeah, it was very interesting.
I have to say, AI, I have no idea how it works.
Well, good, because the people who make them also don't know how they work.
Oh, that's not terrifying.
Nope, that's not. So he was talking about how they're basically the oldest board game in the world is called Go. It's a game where you have black and white stones, and you have to try and surround your opponent's stones. You place a stone each a turn, and there's like 200 slots on the board. Yeah. It's super old school board game they used to play thousands of years ago probably. Yeah. And there's still tournaments, proper big tournaments that go on today, and the Grandmaster at it, basically like the chess Grandmaster, the best player in the world, the big bad, got beat 4-1.
Oh, but you say it's the Go Grandmaster, not a chess
Yes, no, the Go Grandmaster. He got beat 4-1 by an AI.
Excellent.
Yeah.
That's what we want to hear.
Yeah, and as Cal said, it would be like a child playing against a Grandmaster is what the guy compared AI to him as. The AI is the Grandmaster, and he is the child.
Wow.
Which is mental. But he went on to say, and he was like, basically, there's actually AI listings of people making their own AI and stuff, and they're unbeatable. Simply unbeatable at Go. But a research that came out early 2023, talked about how they took an amateur player, not a professional player, and actually beat the AI 100% of the time, every single time that he played.
Oh.
Yeah, every single time that he played against the AI, he would win.
So my guess for this is that there's no data to go on because an amateur player won't use like a strategy like a Grandmaster, or perhaps doesn't have games that the AI can compare to if it knows who it's playing. You
are sort of correct.
Right.
That does play a part in it, because obviously AI nowadays, sort of ChatGPT, takes information from the internet.
Yeah.
It takes information from the internet on who it's playing, how they play, what strategy to use, what strategy has beat them, what strategy has lost against them, and uses that to its advantage.
Yeah, forms an algorithm.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. But basically, the way the guy won all the time was, it's not human. He's not playing against a human. He would basically try and surround the AI stones, but leave a one gap that the AI just didn't care about. It didn't see its stones as something it needed to protect.
Yeah, right.
So it didn't, even though that's how you win the game, is protecting your stones and killing the enemy stones by surrounding them, the AI didn't understand this. It plays to win, but it doesn't know how to win. It's insane how we don't know how AI, because AI is not a human. It's not sentient.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have morals. It doesn't have emotions. It doesn't actually have a brain. It doesn't think. in the way we think. We don't know how the people who make AI don't actually know how it works. You couldn't go to a person who makes ChatGPT and go, how does it work? Because they couldn't tell you. They would say it's an AI that reads from the internet.
Nerds.
Yeah, cool. We know that, but how does it work? They couldn't tell you because we don't know. Like a lot of things humans have done in the past, we don't actually know how it works.
We just know it works.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. We don't know how it works. We know it does work. But yeah, I thought that was really cool that the strategy the guy implemented basically had the AI. It wouldn't work against a human because a human would see it and go, I need to stop that.
Yeah.
And it would stop it. But the AI simply couldn't. It didn't acknowledge it.
Yeah.
It was just a blank space in its brain. It just didn't see it.
Yeah, it's almost like it didn't get the secondary objective of protecting your stones. It thought its way to win was taking all of the enemy stones.
Exactly.
It didn't understand that a secondary thing is to win is you can't lose any of.
Exactly, yeah. So in order to beat it, he just won first.
Yeah.
That's all he did. Whereas the professionals who were playing against the AI were trying to do both.
It was a proper game.
Exactly, yeah. They were doing a proper game of protecting their stones and attacking his stones. But then whenever they were put on the pressure, they would go full defense, like a proper player would. But the amateur player didn't.
Yeah.
He just attacked. And the AI didn't realize. It just didn't know. It didn't understand how this guy was doing it. It couldn't comprehend what it was reading. It was just completely... It was like being really confused as a human. You're looking at something going, I have no idea what that means. It's like us being shown Neuro
Go.
Yeah,
Because I had no idea what
exactly.
it means.
It's like us being shown Go. We just don't know how it works. And so the AI just did not know how it worked and could not beat him. And still to this day can't beat this amateur guy with his tactic of attack. I thought that was really cool. Seeing a Grandmaster. The Grandmaster actually retired because of how much of a thrashing he got from the AI.
Wow.
That was his whole life, his job, his career was going to tournaments and doing this and winning money.
Yeah.
He just retired. He was like, what did he say? It's an unbeatable entity. The AI. The Grandmaster of Go was like, you can't beat it. It's impossible. And they hired this random amateur who
Just went
absolutely
out. They found me or you.
Yeah. So yeah, the guy had played a couple of matches ago before in his life, just casually. No proper professional.
Drunk at a house party one night.
Basically, yeah.
Someone whipped out the Go board.
And
They were like, that's our guy.
That's more like it. But yeah, I thought that was really interesting.
It's reminded me of... I play a lot of strategy games, and it's reminded me of sort of like how you would beat the harder level AI in strategy games where like you get to learn how the AI works. So for example, my favourite game, Civilization, right?
Yeah.
How I play against other players is different to how I play against the AI.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So like when trying to, as you know, I tried to beat the AI for ages and came so close so many times.
Yep.
But say like if I was playing against you and like other friends, yous are all like yous know what, like if I say built the Great Library in that game, for you don't know, it's really good for science. Yeah. You should have an idea of what I would be doing, whereas the AI would be like doesn't have that blank slate. They move their troops in a very different way. They tend to just spam out troops, and also you can always count on the AI to keep coming. As you say, even like in that game, they don't like an AI of that is nowhere near as advanced.
Exactly, yeah.
But like it still has that fundamental, like if you get them in a chokehold and you're able to like shoot one of their army a turn and wipe it out, it still has that.
It's like an unrelenting march.
Yeah.
It will keep going forward because that's what it's been told to do.
Yeah.
And that's what it thinks is best, is falling back to an actual general in real life in a war situation is the best idea. Keep my men for now, pull them back, consolidate them, dig in, and then we can beat them. Yeah. Whereas the AI would see it as, I need to push forward. I need to push forward.
I need more troops there.
Exactly. So they would just flood it with more troops. Yeah. Instead of actually doing the smart thing and pulling back and defending.
Yeah. So like,
it was just attacking.
To put it in that in context of that game, which probably no one knows, there's a certain production cost to build every trip, or a certain monetary cost to build every trip.
Mm-hmm.
The production and monetary cost of keeping the same trips is lower. Like, if getting a trip out and healing it and getting it to recover is much, much lower than building a new one.
Yeah.
So over time you will, and that is one of the strategies used to beat the AI, because it does cheat. Like, I'm not gonna lie.
Absolutely, yeah.
It starts off ahead of you, and we'll not get into it, but one of the strategies is to put it on the slowest game speed, because over time the human player will make better moves with its units than the AI will. So then over time it gives the human more, like, all these little small advantages that lets it catch up and eventually overtake.
Surpass it, yeah. Yeah, makes sense. Absolutely. Yeah, I just thought it was really interesting.
Yeah, that's just what popped into my head when you told it. I remember my own struggle.
It's the same as I've been playing Total War 3, as you know, at the moment.
Yeah.
And every time you play a battle, the AI just doesn't stop. It will just run at you.
Yeah.
Its cavalry will do like a basic pincer maneuver. Basically, it will sort of go around the sides.
Hammer and anvil, kind of.
Yeah. But you can so easily counteract it. As soon as you counter it, it doesn't know what to do.
Yeah, it just
doesn't matter how high a difficulty you're playing on. It goes, just attack them. Just attack. Go.
Also, I've never found any AI that can get my strategy of kill the general.
Exactly.
Make the rest run away.
Exactly, yeah.
And also, manipulating AI, because I come from the Civ 5 background, manipulating AI that's what you do in that.
That's exactly what you do.
So, I came up with strategies to draw them out and ambush them, and that only an AI would think of, whereas, a human player would be like, I see what he's doing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
a human, you look at it and you go, oh, well, that's... I'm not stupid. I can see that. It's very obvious, whereas the AI...
It looks at the numbers like, oh, I can easily beat that and run back, but doesn't.
Yeah. It's like, oh, there's an ambush there, probably. But the AI doesn't know that. It just knows I can win that battle, so it will attack you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool, talking about the Go stuff. I love Cal Hill as well. He's amazing. I love his videos. So informative. But yeah, just whenever I saw his video on ChatGPT, I went, oh, please, tell me. Tell me more.
So the last thing we want to talk about, well, I say we. The last thing I want to talk about is new car.
Yeah.
Exciting.
The TARDIS, is that what you call it from now on?
So it is Hyundai i30.
Yep.
Great wee car. You call it the TARDIS. Why do you call it the TARDIS?
Because on the outside it looks like a normal sort of, car.
Medium-sized car.
Yeah, it's a medium-sized car. That's what it looks like. 4-door. Nice. I got in it, put the seat back, and went, holy god, I thought it was on the Starship Enterprise because there's so much bloody room inside of it.
And I could still fit behind you in the seat.
Fully recline back, and you can still sit behind.
Yeah, comfortably. I know I'm not the biggest person, but
But I was very impressed. I just didn't realise how big it was going to be. On the inside, I looked at it and went, it's a nice car. It's probably not going to be as big as the old Audi, though, because it was a hefty thing.
Oh, it was massive. It was it
looked massive.
It looked like a bendy bus.
Yeah, exactly. It looked like you were driving a train down the road. But I got inside it and just sat down and went, holy god, why are the windows the size of the Eiffel Tower?
It's great.
It was mental. I loved it. It's fantastic.
I have a console now. So much room for activities.
There was. I was able to fully, stretch the arms out and all. Give the shoulders a good.
Got a quick workout.
Exactly. Yeah, sitting bench pressing on the back seat. It's amazing.
Well, as it's me, new car means new car tech, new car gadgets. Couple already. So I did have a Bluetooth FM transmitter. It is now kind of surpassed because the car has Bluetooth. So, and it was also where I got, obviously, I needed to have the USB-C charging.
Yeah.
So I thought I would put some more, I don't know if infrastructure is the right word, but that's the only word I can think of that means that.
Sounds good to me.
So, infrastructure in place in the car. So I got a 60-watt USB-C charger with a USB-A port, all good to go, and it is so small that I can still close the 12-volt socket. You know how they all have them caps on them now ever since they got rid of the cigarette lighter?
Uh-huh.
I can still close that perfectly fine.
Nice.
Excellent.
You love that, yeah?
There is tomorrow is coming my new MagSafe mount.
Oh, very nice.
So I'm a big fan of MagSafe.
Yes.
Products. Use them literally every day. So my old one, I was running into issues with it when I was driving, and it was particularly hot on long drives, of the phone getting up a notification, which you don't want to see on your phone, that says iPhone will return to charging when temperatures have returned to normal.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so I found, I don't know how good this will be yet, but I'm confident in it.
Okay.
So it's called like a cryo halo lock. So it's a...
So it's complicated.
Yeah, we love it. We love a complicated thing. So it's essentially the exact same what I have now, like a MagSafe wireless charger that holds the phone in place.
Yeah.
But instead they've put like a fan around it to cool the phone while it charges, so that the phone doesn't overheat. And
yeah, okay. I mean, it's a fan.
Yeah.
Fans work.
It's gonna, so it should hopefully keep the phone cooler. Get it tomorrow. We shall experiment and see how we go with that.
And you can recommend that next week.
Can recommend it next week,
or
perhaps.
Not recommend it
or
at all.
I will give a scathing review and it will never be bought again. One issue that I am running into that I'm looking at is because everything is just a dump space. Like, so there's no like organization within like the console or the glove box or anything, like as you, I don't know if you ever opened my Audi's glove box, but it had shelves.
Yeah,
it was
it's
ridiculous.
Same as my dad's.
Yeah, it had shelves and stuff. That's just an empty space. So whenever I take a corner, if I take it maybe a wee bit too fast, I just hear
everything just slides along. Yeah,
and it's starting to wear on me.
Okay, yeah.
So I need something. I need something new.
You need some sort of sorting system.
Yeah, I need something to organise that. So that's next on the cards.
Okay.
The console isn't too bad because there's only wires in there. There's only like 3 chargers in there at the minute and an aux cord.
Yeah. That's not too bad.
Yeah, for me that's actually quite good. Like only the 3 chargers. So
there you go.
The boot's filled with gadgets that I no longer need because it's like things like a cup holder extender. I have 2 cup holders now.
I'll be nicking those.
It's a free for all. There's like 3 people, including you, who are all going. The MagSafe wireless charger. When I get the new one, it is the big prize. People are wanting it.
I don't think I'll need that very much.
No, you don't. You can't use that. So it's
useless to me. Bags is the cup holder.
The cup holder.
Get the damn cup
holder. I have 2 whole cup holders.
Well, they're both mine, aren't they? I don't know how many cup holders are in my Corsa.
Do you know what I think you should worry about more for your Corsa?
What?
An engine.
That would be handy.
So, because I don't think we've talked about this.
No.
You own a car that doesn't have an engine?
No. It drove for 2 weeks. The person I bought it off either didn't realise or was a prick.
Got a taillight guarantee.
Yeah, as soon as I left the drive, no response, and the engine just stopped. Wouldn't start. Well, me and John did get it started. We got it to his, barely. I was terrified driving that thing. The 5 minutes. I thought, oh god, if I stop up this hill, I might die.
You should have called me. I have the experience of driving dodgy cars.
I got there though.
Got there.
Yeah. So yeah, currently I have to spend another £500 on a new engine for my Corsa. That's fun.
And you know what? Do you see when you're on the road again, you can have the extra cup holders?
Yes.
I think
I'll go on eBay now. Actually,
straight away. So I have other things as well that like I just don't need. So like, what else is in the back there? So I have 2 FM transmitters, one Bluetooth, one not, which I don't think anyone I know wouldn't need because I had the oldest car.
Yeah, my Corsa has one.
Yeah, you have the transmitter, don't you? Already.
Yeah.
You should
the first thing I bought.
Man, to see if you would have waited, you could have got mine.
Oh, I don't care.
If only you knew. You only drove it for 2 weeks.
Exactly. It's not like I did it for very long.
Yeah. So get that. Anything else I could add to it? I'm trying, like, other than like storage. Obviously, the iPad is coming as soon as the 7 is released.
Yeah, as soon as it's released.
Yeah, so it'll be coming.
What about a home cinema?
A home cinema, that's part of the iPad Mini.
Oh.
They have actually released a BMW i7 with a fully cinematic screen in the back. Have you seen this?
No, I have not.
Oh my goodness, Shay.
Why?
Oh. It is, you sit in the back. I think it's like a 40-inch flat screen. He's looking it up frantically now, i7. Go into it, right? look at the back. Is there anything to the back?
Hold on.
No, there it is. It's like
oh
a floor,
my god! It's a flat screen TV.
and the seats recline,
What the
and
hell?
then everything blacks out so you can see. It's like a 40-inch TV in the back. It's flabbergasted.
What? I wish I was this rich.
It's fully electric too, so you don't have to pay your road tax or anything. That's how you can afford the TV.
Get your butler to drive the car while you sit in the back and watch YouTube.
Watch Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
No, watch Modest Pelican.
Look at that. Look how futuristic this looks.
That interior is actually quite nice.
Yeah, I have
that
to
frontal interior. I will put pictures up for the people on YouTube of what we're looking at.
ginormous TV.
Oh,
I don't know how many it is off the top of my head because I didn't actually look into it because I didn't think I was going to. But
that's amazing. Wow. I mean, I would never use it, but you have it, I guess.
Could you every day is about
how ruined it would get if you rolled the car. I just tried to spin it out.
There is always every day's a drive-through cinema with that thing.
Apparently so.
Look at the giant screen in the front as well.
Dear God, that's mental.
That is one thing that irritates me. Do you see behind about my i30? Do you see behind the steering wheel?
Yeah.
There's no clock.
Oh really?
Yeah. So I have to I have the inconvenience of slightly turning my head over to look at the clock.
Millennials.
I'm not a millennial.
Realize it around which mood lighting.
Yeah, there's a button at the back. You tap theater mode, and it all darkens down so that you can.
And a super wide theater screen in the back.
I love it.
Oh my god! What has the world come to?
You know that in 10 years' time, I will be rocking a used one of these.
You will as well.
You know that. I'll have my wee i3 first that no one else has ever liked that I've ever asked.
One almost ran me over yesterday.
Seriously?
Yeah.
I didn't get ran over today.
Didn't hear it coming. Unfortunately for it, I weigh over 50 kilos. So
I think you could weigh more than it.
more than the i3.
It's made out of carbon fiber, super light.
Good for it. It's still going to be like 600, 700 kilo. If I know it's going to be heavier than
To
that.
see if it does, I will laugh.
I'll get it. BMW i3. Wait. Curb weight. There you go. 1,200 kilos.
Wow. I didn't even think it would be a ton.
It's still a car.
I didn't think it would be a ton. I was over exaggerating with that. I'm not going to lie to you, but I didn't even think it would be a ton. Wow.
Yeah. Believe it or not, cars are quite heavy.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever. What is this podcast?
I don't know.
What are we doing anymore?
I'm going to go home.
Yeah, fair enough. I'll see you next week.
See you next week.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.